Welcome to the show tonight. We have a very special guest, Ms. Christy Ziglar from the ICRS of 2013 in St. Louis. We had a great time out there, and she is I think she is the granddaughter or daughter, maybe daughter. We'll find out for sure. She's the daughter of Zig Ziglar. Everybody knows Zig Ziglar, motivational speaker, great man, writing and all that stuff as well. We'll get into that interview, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But I want to encourage you to continue broadcasting with us and watching our videos. But I want you to run around Rev Media TV, see all the videos that are putting out there. We had a group, Jesus TV, join us from Belgium, and that's awesome. We're having people from different parts of the world that are starting to join on Rev Media TV, and we're just trying to bring out the best we can. You know, there's something that I shared on my show, a Rev Media on a Midwatch with the Rev. I shared on this last week and said there's so much talent. There's so many people out there that have such a vision and ministry. Hollywood and all the other industries have tapped it. They have found some diamonds in the rough, if you want to call it, out there in the industry. And it's time for the Christian broadcast industry to do the same thing. We're going to cover that today on the last segment, talking about what possibilities there are out there and what God can do. Anyway, we have Miss Christy Ziglar. She's going to be on the air in just a minute. She's written the book called Can't Wait Willow, and it just got released. And so we're hitting this show right at the right time, where it's in the bookstores and stuff, so you're going to enjoy the interview with her. We have some videos from her as well. Anyway, we'll be right back with that interview with Christy Ziglar. Welcome to the show. We are here at the ICRS, and we're going into our afternoon series here, and we have a very beautiful Miss Christy Ziglar. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. She's written a book, Can't Wait Willow, and we can both hold up our books at the same time. See, we're really publicizing it. And it's a great story. It's a great illustration. I was telling Christy before the broadcast how I actually had to get this tested. I had to take it to my nieces and my nephews, and they passed it around, mainly my nieces and my daughter, and they really, really enjoyed it. This is something that they all had a good illustration. Even the moms even said, wow, this was...
Mom tested.
Yeah, mom
kid
tested,
approved.
kid approved. And they were excited about it. They loved the stories, and I forget, one of them showed me a picture that they really liked. I'm going to look at it while you're talking and try and find it. It was just something, this one right here. This is the one they just loved all the color.
The Ringmaster.
The Ringmaster. They could not. They were like, that was a great lesson for them about the Ringmaster, and not you don't need to get everything down the road on the trail.
That's right. Well, I love hearing that children react and respond to this, because that's why the stories were written, to help our children make better choices and shine bright.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you're related to, and then tell us about you.
Well, I assume you're referring to my famous uncle, Zig Ziglar, who obviously was a legendary motivator and encourager, and spent his lifetime teaching great leadership principles to adults. And and in fact, if you're a Zig Ziglar fan, then the story starts with a favorite Zig quote. So in the case of Can't Wait Willow, it's sometimes you've got to say no to good to end up with the best.
Oh, that's good. That is really good. That's awesome. So did you want to become a writer?
Well,
It's a huge shadow.
It is.
It's like, were you thinking the people are going to expect you to be a motivational speaker?
No. Interestingly, life always takes us down interesting winds and turns, and I've always loved writing. I've always loved stories and storytelling. I was an art history major of all things, but ended up having a varied past. I spent several years in .com and media companies, and then ended up in financial services. Oh, wow. And actually I'm a certified financial planner practitioner.
Okay. All right.
And it was really that experience that inspired the story Can't Wait Willow, about a little girl who needs to learn to say no, as you know, and then being a mom to a son and daughter and wanting to impart wisdom into their lives.
And so when did you decide to start writing this one?
Well, several years ago, I was involved in a financial literacy program for first and second graders.
Okay.
And during that experience, it became clear to me that while teaching basic money concepts is hugely important, that no amount of talking about budgeting or saving was going to make a real difference till we could help these children learn to see beyond the moment.
Okay.
And to think into the future. So, in short, we needed to help them learn to make better choices.
All right.
And the Can't Wait Willow story was born, and the Shine Bright Kids were born.
Oh, wow. Tell us about that, the Shine Bright Kids.
Well, Shine Bright Kids is a new series from
Okay.
Ideals
All right.
Children's Books, and helps children learn to make better choices.
Oh,
So-
that's good. That is, I tell my kids, especially my hard-headed one. Everyone gets a real hard-headed one. And I tell Nate, you got to. It's like I can tell the heat of the moment's going to get him. I'm like, make good choices. You need to make good choices, and think about it. This choice is not going to only affect right now, but it's going to affect later. So that's nice to hear.
It does, and it's so hard in the fast-paced, instant gratification world that we live in. You know, we're all
Absolutely.
consumers, and there are so many messages that encourage us just to have what we want when we want it.
Uh-huh.
And I think for our kids, they've never had access to so much before.
You know, that's true. That's true. It's like they can get so many things. I mean, from anywhere from iPhones to iPads to the latest game systems, they can just take in the car, go anywhere,
And yet
it's
there's
different.
this huge disconnect, I think, between having those things and understanding the financial responsibility and the obligations that those require.
Yes,
so
that's very true.
We've got to teach them that just because they can doesn't mean that they should.
That's right.
And every choice we make does have an end consequence.
Well, that's very true. Now, when you wrote the book, the illustrations are awesome. Tell us about Luann. Tell us about
Well,
how did
I
you
am
meet this
so
person?
excited about Luann. Ideals actually connected Luann and I, and
Okay.
when they heard, what I was looking for, and we had an image of Willow in our heads, and I think that Luann just did such a great job of bringing her freckled face and fun-loving and spunky self to life. But she, I think she has a modern and whimsical approach, but it still evokes some of those nostalgic stories
Yeah.
of maybe our youth.
Okay.
And you'll notice that there's a star hidden within the illustrations,
Mhm.
and his name is Ziggle.
Ziggle.
Ziggle, he giggles and wiggles, and he ziggles.
Let me see if I can find a Ziggle.
But
That's a star?
yeah, that's the star.
Okay.
But Ziggle shines bright when Willow's making good choices, and he looks
Oh, that's nice.
sad
That's nice.
and a little bit dim when maybe Willow's making not so great of a choice. So
Okay.
it's a teachable moment for
Yeah.
parents to discuss, okay, well, why is the star shining right now? And, ice cream, one of Willow's first distractions, is not bad, but it's keeping her from reaching her goal, which was to get to the circus.
Oh, okay, great. Now, how much of this has been influenced by your kids?
A lot. I think, again, it's something I struggle with. We all have a little bit of Willow
Yes.
inside of us. So learning how to wait for the best and saying no to things that are just good instead of waiting for the things that are great. I think that's just a really hard thing for all of us.
Now, tell us what do you want readers to take away from the book? When they finish, they put this book down on their counter, or the kids put it at night. What do you want them to get?
Well, I hope that kids will learn to choose right and shine bright. And that means making more thoughtful decisions,
Okay.
being more intentional and proactive, and then for families, talking about what is most important, our values, and setting
Okay.
goals together, because as you know, if we don't know what's most important to us, then it's so easy to get off course and
Oh,
distracted.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what's the feedback? But I know I gave you some feedback. What
Thank
kind
you.
of feedback have you been getting from everyone
I've
else?
been so excited. I mean, the very best thing for me is to go read the story to children because they love it.
Oh, you've been
And
doing that. So,
I
so
have
what do you
been,
set up? Where do you go?
Different classrooms all over, schools, churches.
You should try children's hospitals.
I think that's a great idea.
I mean, especially a story like this, and go.
It's a
There's
great
always
idea.
kids that were waiting for someone to spend time with them. You'd be a hit. Take that.
David, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. You heard it here.
She's going to be famous.
You heard it here. But no, I think what's cool is that kids get the message,
Yeah.
and then when you're out at the grocery store or doing your everyday life errands, now there's a context to say, okay, you can have that box of crackers or whatever it is that they're grabbing for, but you're not going to get to have something else. And then there's a consequence. And I've been really proud of my children and other children that they're starting to really get that and thinking to the future and realizing can't have and do everything. We have to make choices.
Now, what has your family said about it? Since you wrote it, did they go, hey, that story reminds me of me?
Well, I've been told that there was a Christy who maybe could have learned this lesson better when I was little. So, it's very convicting to write it. But
well, there's a lot of you in it. Right.
There is.
There has to be. I mean, like, I've written 2 books, and there's a lot of me in the stories that I share. And you just can't help it. I mean, because it's part of your life. It's part of what you see. It's part of what you do.
It is.
I'm not saying you were this child.
No, but I think, we do. I do love fun and I love to be spontaneous, but that doesn't mean, again, because I can do something, it's the right thing. And that takes, seeking guidance and wisdom.
Absolutely.
And, if you're a Christian, that means looking to God and seeing what He has in store for you. But I do think we need to just do a better job talking to our kids about stopping and thinking before we say or do.
Absolutely. Well, let's share with everybody your website that they can go to. They can get the book or go to your Facebook or whatever.
Yes, so the website is can'twaitwillow.com, www.can'twaitwillow.com. There are some fun, free reward charts and games and other activities and parenting resources that I hope will be helpful. We're on Facebook, Shine Bright Kid Co. We're on Twitter, Shine Bright Co. if you want to follow us. And I hope the story will really, again, give parents some new tools to talk about making good decisions.
Amen. And it's a good read, and it's very colorful and a lot of illustrations, so I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for being a part.
Thank you. It was such a pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
And remember, it's Can't Wait Willow. And go get it. All right, God bless. We'll be back with another great interview in just a minute. Amen. Welcome back to the show. And I want to tell you that Miss Christy Ziglar is the niece of Zig Ziglar, and I think I said she was the daughter or granddaughter, but no, that's the niece of Zig Ziglar, famous motivational speaker. Anyway, great interview. You can tell she's just very enthusiastic. We had a great interview about her. And I tell you what, my kids read this book, and as you can see in the interview, I told you this. Not all my kids, my daughter. She even made this one to my daughter Faith. It says to Faith. Anyway, she was a great interview, and my nieces read this, and they all enjoyed it. It was something that was good. It was something that was very, a positive message. It gave them some good insights, some good teachings and stuff. So anyway, I encourage you, let's get the desk cam on this. I don't know, this is a big guy, so we may have to zoom out a little bit on it. Let's see. Oh, we got it right there. I'm going to have to hold it, though, because children's book, it's kind of thin. It's going to fall. All right, so that's it right there, Can't Wait Willow. And you can see the pictures and stuff. Very good book. I think that you'd enjoy it. Your kids will enjoy it. It's good to invest in something that's going to give your kids a good message. How much do we spend on DVDs? I just went to the store just a few weeks ago and bought the Iron Man DVD. That cost me $20. The Blu-ray, everything like that. And this one right here, going to put you back just about $15, $14. It's something that's going to last, and you're going to be able to pass it on. Although Iron Man was pretty good too. But this will be good, something for you that you can teach your kids some good lessons and stuff. It's important. It's so important to invest in your kids. It's important. It's important to take the time to make sure your kids get the right reading material and to see what they're doing and see how they're doing and everything else that's coming up in their life, and just trusting God. I want to encourage you. Revenue TV is doing some great things, and I know I keep talking about this, but it's just a powerful, powerful message that we're going to continue in the next segment that we go to. But when you trust in God and you allow God to do things for you, He's going to open doors for you. He's going to make things possible. He's going to make things available for you to get done. We're going to be right back with some of the Christy Ziglar's videos. We have 2 of them. One of them is her commercial, her actual commercial. Another one is another interview, about a 4-minute interview about the publisher Shine Bright Kids made for this. And then also we're going to do some more videos about our ministry as well. We'll be right back.
The wait is over. Can't Wait Willow is available now from Shine Bright Kids and Ideals Children's Books. Willow's big day has finally arrived. And Willow, well, she simply can't wait for the circus she's so been looking forward to. Willow sets out for her big adventure full of anticipation. But Willow's big day takes an unexpected turn when the appeal of other attractions diverts her attention. Before long, the day slips away, and so does the circus money she'd worked so hard to save. but Willow gets a second chance to learn a lasting life lesson. And this time, Willow is determined not to let anything stand in the way of her goal. In Can't Wait Willow, she learns the invaluable truth that sometimes the best things in life require saying no to other things along the way. Author Christy Ziglar, mother of twins and niece of legendary motivator Zig Ziglar, has crafted an engaging story that brings timeless wisdom and helps parents teach good decision-making skills. Can't Wait Willow is available now.
The Shine Bright Kids book series came from the idea that children need to learn how to make better choices. And it all goes back several years ago to an experience I had working with first and second graders in Atlanta Public Schools, where we put together a financial literacy program. And during that experience, it occurred to me that while it was extremely important to teach them about budgeting and saving and investing, the more important thing at hand was, how do we get these kids to think beyond the instant gratification of the moment and into the future? How do we teach them that their decisions now have consequences later? One of the reasons I wanted to write these stories, and particularly Can't Wait Willow, is how do we impart this wisdom to our kids? How do I teach my kids to learn to make the best choices? How do I teach them to learn to wait for the things that are the very best in life? We have incorporated a little star, and he's playfully hidden within several of the illustrations. So it's a game for the kids to be able to look and find the star and see what he's doing, but it's a teachable moment for the parents to explain, well, what is the star doing and why is he doing that? So when a character is making a good or a wise choice, the star is shiny and bright. If the character is making a poor choice or maybe doing something that isn't ideal, you see the star is deflated or a little bit lackluster. So it's a chance to talk to your kids about, well, why is this? And what could he be doing different? And I found in my own life with my twins that we're out at the grocery store, and like all kids do, they're grabbing for this and grabbing for that and saying, hey, can we have this now? And I'll give them a choice. And I'll say, well, you can have those crackers now, but then you're not going to get dessert. And inevitably, their follow-up question is, well, what's for dessert? And I'll tell them what it is, and they can choose. But if they go ahead and have the crackers, then they're going to have to miss out on dessert that night. So it's a natural consequence. I had this middle of the night moment where I woke up and it just occurred to me that all of these messages, these life skills, these leadership principles, these values, these character traits were all the exact same messages that my uncle Zig Ziglar had been teaching his entire life. And I literally hit my husband and said to him, hey, do you think that Zig would be interested in doing something with this, or I could run it by him? And he's like, yes, why don't you do that tomorrow? And we went back to sleep, or at least he did, I think. But I literally the next morning got up, and within an hour, I think, I had matched a favorite Zig Ziglar quote with every single storyline. And it just made perfect sense to me that, of course, this would be a way to reach a new, younger audience with some of this great, timeless wisdom that he spent his lifetime teaching others. Can't Wait Willow's message is that you have to learn to wait for the best. So delayed gratification. Each message is then paired with a favorite Zig Ziglar quote. So in Can't Wait Willow, the Zig Ziglar quote is, sometimes you need to say no to the good to save yes for the best. Now, because these are kids' stories, we also have a kid-friendly version of that quote. So in Can't Wait Willow, sometimes you need to say no, it can be better to wait, save yes for the super amazing, end up with truly great.
Used to be you could trust a hacker. Sure, they broke into computer systems, but most lived by a code of ethics. But as WikiLeaks informant Bradley Manning found out, things have changed. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, and I'll tell you more in a moment.
Startpage doesn't store your IP address, make a record of your searches, or use tracking cookies, and they're third-party certified. Startpage.com, the world's most private search engine.
Honest hackers live by a code that emphasizes sharing, openness, free access to computers, and world improvement. And they typically have a healthy mistrust of authority that helps keep us all safer. For example, hackers have exposed serious flaws in technology. They forewarned us that contactless credit card numbers could be siphoned right through our wallets. They also proved that human chip implants can be cloned, allowing criminals to pretend to be someone else. But these days, be careful which hackers you trust with your secrets. According to the Hacker Quarterly, 1 in 4 hackers is now an FBI informant. Many have been forced into government service to avoid jail time. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht for StartPage.com, the world's most private search engine.
Created using Powtoon.
We were kids, we were young. She was pretty, I was dumb. New love. Through the years, good and bad, never knew just what I had. True love, busy chasing all my selfish dreams. She saw something else I couldn't see. She picks me up when I fall apart. She's the only fire that warms my heart. It's a blessing every day I get to see her face.
Welcome back to the show, and we've had some upgrades done to our video format, so if you see some stalling and some lag, we apologize. It is not your internet connection. It is a system that we're processing out. We're bringing in a whole new system to run the videos and to run our switching and stuff, so it just turns out to be that's the thing we're working with right now, and that's how we have to do it. So anyway, you still get the message. Praise God, this is internet, so we're eventually working ourselves to television. That's my goal with Rev Media TV, is to get that going as far as getting our broadcasting going on regular television sets. So right now we're just mastering it on the internet level. It doesn't mean we don't give you the best quality that we can, but it does mean that we have a little bit of hiccups and a little bit of little oops and stuff like that. So praise God that we're out there doing. And that's what I want to talk to you about is Hollywood kind of found this out, and now it's starting to take a little bit of a movement for the Christian film industry. They started to see that there's some talent out there besides what's in the very Hollywood that everyone's used to. And also one thing is, I remember watching an interview, and I covered this on my radio show this last week. There was an interview with George Clooney, and he was he's promoting a movie several years back. And then when he was talking about the movie, they asked him about, was he happy with the quality? They know that it was a lower budget film that he was a producer with and put it together. And he said, what I'm really impressed with is this is pretty good. But we have a few million bucks thrown into it. It's going to be good. He goes, what I'm impressed with is those kids out there with the DV cameras and the quality that the cameras are at, and that are able to make amazing movies with hardly any budget at all and can tell a good story. That reminds me of my friend John Ware with 168 Film Festival, and it is an amazing thing that he does. He's kind of like the Roger Corman of the Christian world. And I don't know if you know who Roger Corman is, but in Hollywood, he's one of the biggest producers of horror flicks and movies and genre movies. And what he does is, if you have X amount of thousands of dollars, you pay him, and he'll direct a feature with your money and he'll have you direct a feature with your money and get you the cast, the crew, the script. He owns the rights to everything, and you get your producer credentials, and you can go produce movies for Hollywood. I think it's like $100,000 or $200,000 that you got to bring them. I think it's $300,000 even now. But there's talent out there. And what John Ware does really good is he gets the people that already have the talent and just needs to get the crew and the opportunity, and he puts them on a platform that they can get noticed. Echolight Studios, $1 million, provided the award-winning prize for his film festival this last year. And the beautiful thing about that is it's only for the use of a feature film. So he has a $1 million feature film available to the winner, and that's great, because they did a short 10-minute movie, but then they can go and do a full feature film and have the backing behind it and the distribution. So there's talent out there, and I think that the Christian world has not tapped that talent yet. I think that, and I may have to have like a commentary put under my name here, along with my address and my email address and stuff, that says, hey, this is so and so happening, and I want to tell you the truth, because the truth is this, my friends: there's so many things out there that we as Christians, and go ahead and put my address up so people can see that in the email address. And there's people out there that can see the work of the Lord done, not by popular people, not by people that are known and have been known for 20, 30 years. Those days are passing, my friends, and they're still going to be there. They're still going to be effective. But there is a strong influence of men and women of God that may not be on the major market areas of television, but can be on the internet, can be broadcasted online, that the industry needs to notice and fund them. Netflix, amazing story about Netflix, and I'll try and get this in 30 seconds. Netflix was going to the bottom of the pit, and they're going to go to bankruptcy, but they had an idea. If we can just get funding, and we don't have to buy big movies, but we just fund the movies. We just fund the movies. We fund the broadcasting. We fund that, and we can survive. And now they went from the bottom to the top, and just signed a deal with Pixar, and just signed a deal with Disney, and they're doing amazing things. Anyway, I want to tell you, there's talent out there. We got to be creative. We got to find that talent. We'll see you next time on the Midwatch. God bless you.
The views and opinions of our guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station, this show, or its host.